Welcome to the channel. Let's make some thumb studs. Inspired by the Leatherman arc, these will work on any free series. I'm using the free P4. This mod is very inexpensive. Step 1. Order some hardware. These are from AliExpress. These M2 screws are the key. They have very flat heads and are 5mm long. I also got some shorter 4mm ones for the thin saw blade. And these are thicker 3mm screws. There's a very thin gap for the screw heads to fit into. By measuring the spring, we can see the gap is only 0.77mm. These little M2s are perfect. When placed into the blade though, they're not exactly a snug fit. They can even fall in. The M3s on the other hand, fit the cutout very nicely. Unfortunately, the head is too thick for the gap. I think we can modify these, but we'll get to that later. Now for the fun part. I found a few nuts that could make for good thumb studs. And a single Acorn nut from Ace Hardware. Let's start with the thumb nuts in brass. We'll need a precision driver with a number 5 Torx bit. You can see the screw likes to clamp onto one side. That's because this cutout overlaps with the sloped hollow grind of the blade, making this side a bit lower. The aesthetics are pretty great. It works, but it doesn't feel great. It's kind of a harsh edge that sticks out. Here it is on the serrated blade. I'm gonna give this one a 9 on aesthetics and an on function. Next up, the smallest lock nut. This thing is very tiny, barely wider than the cutout. But it's not going anywhere at the moment. It works, but it's not very comfy. It's not too bad. I think it looks pretty sleek. Probably the most unintrusive. Next up, the flanged lock nut. The last one had black nylon, this one's white. That's a lot nicer. This definitely feels the best. It's easier to put your thumb on. I still can't flick it out, maybe that's a technique thing. The wider base of the flange makes it look more secure too. Here it is on the saw. This is that wiggle room it has before you tighten it. I don't like that aspect. It blends in pretty well. This one also comes in a ton of colors. Well, this is the current leader. Let's see what's next. The Acorn nut, or dome nut. We'll need a T10 bit because we're switching from M2 to M3. These are the ones that can't move around, fitting very nicely, but the head is too thick. Let's fix that. I have some vice grips, and I'm just gonna file this down. It's taken some material off, measure it against the M2 head, marking the high spots. This process took around 10 minutes. Follow that up with 100 and 320 grit sandpaper for a smooth stone-washed finish. Still works. Here's the before and after. Perfect. It works. Acorn nut is solid. Let's adjust that so it's in line with the rest of the tool. Okay. Not bad. This definitely feels the best. The dome doesn't have any hard edges. You can push or put your thumb on top of it. It does stick out quite a bit. It's not noticeable in pocket though. I'm liking it. Let's see if it gets in the way. Not bad. All good there. Can feel it here, but there aren't any sharp edges. Tools are usable. I think we have a winner. This one gets second place. It doesn't stick out, which is a plus. I followed this up with lubricating the blade, which helped a lot. The tool isn't that bad stock. I still prefer the feel of this MX blade. Would you use any of these thumb studs? I think we found some good options. Do you like the stainless look, or would you go for an accent color? I like the look of the brass. See ya in the next video.